Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Field Trips. Today we're headed on a little drive, not too far from home. We're gonna kind of head down a couple of lakes down from where my studio is, and basically drive a road that kind of circles around the lake. It goes up pretty high to about 1,300 meters, and then I'll head back down to lake level, and I'll try and get some nice photographs along the way. It looks pretty amazing today. We do have some company, somebody taking some nice cosplay photographs. But what I'm hoping for is these clouds contrasting with the nice fall foliage on the trees. In the back you can see the neighboring town to mine called Omachi. And probably in about 10 minutes the sun should start rising here, so I'm gonna get set up and hopefully start shooting. Today I have my Action X25. I have a RST 25 core unit inside. You can see I got the 200 to 600, 70 to 200, and I got my body, which has a 24 to 70 on it, which I think is probably the right lens for this moment. Well, the sun just popped out again. Hopefully this works to my advantage. You can see that nice patch right there. It's nicely lit. All right, let's head down to the lake. We're actually gonna head under these clouds towards the south end of this lake. So I'm just gonna quickly pack up and hit the road again. You might have noticed that the light's a little different here. That's because yesterday when we got down to this level, the sun was a little too high in the sky and too bright, and didn't really make for great images. So because I live so close, I thought, why not just come back the next day, which is today, and try and get some better images. So here we are now. Honestly, the mist isn't what I had hoped it would be, but I'm gonna try and make the best of it. That house over there looks kind of nice. That one beside the big trees. Getting a nice mist over the onsen again, so I'm gonna shift over there while I'm up here. So I just thought I would try another little foreground experiment and shoot through the fence, because that way the fence will kind of cast, I guess, kind of a gradient. I mean, I could probably do this in Lightroom too, but it just gives a little more depth to the photo, I think. And I'm just noticing that it also adds kind of a layer to the top with the actual pattern. So I think I'll just walk down to the furthest end of the lake and see if I can shoot back this way. Looks like the light's coming out a bit now, and there's the way the river runs into this lake. It has a nice nice shape to it and some nice guiding lines. So let's go check that area out. It looks like the sun's probably starting to hit the top of the morning fog, giving it a slight magenta hue. It's quite nice. My previous images were all pretty, quite a bit more muted, which I kind of liked. This whole area here, it's really old. I guess you could call it run down in that very common Japanese kind of way. A lot of these places along the water are, I wouldn't call them abandoned, but I'm sure somebody owns them and they're just not occupied. But I guess at the same time, that kind of lends to its charm. If it was modernized, I mean, it would be great for tourists and nice quality of life, I guess. But as far as photography, sometimes these old rustic structures really add to the charm. I feel like, you know, I want to stick to the plan here, but I think this will be nicer. Just gonna shoot the boats in the foreground and hopefully the mountain pops out. One quick note here about the RST core unit. This basically goes for all of them. This is the RST25, but you can see here that we have a core unit that goes from the base to the top. I'm not really using the top access today. I guess I accessed my headlamp through the top yesterday, but pretty much you just have the entire bag full of camera gear. So if you have an X25 and you're really just after a backpack that carries camera gear, you're not worried about bringing extra layers, food, and all these other extra more mountain supplies, this is quite a good setup. You got, of course, a really comfy backpack, but you can really maximize the amount of gear you put in. So we were just walking and talking, and Henry, the man filming this right now, mentioned that he always puts his tripod in with the ball head up, and I always put mine in with the ball head down. The reason I put it down is because the ball head's generally heavier, so having the weight lower is just going to be more comfortable rather than it being top heavy, especially with carbon tripod legs. And then the other reason is that if the ball head or fluid head area is covered, there's just less chance of dirt, sand getting into that area. And that's just going to keep your tripod ball head working smoother. So these two houses have been empty for as long as I can remember. I've been coming to this area for probably 15 years. I don't remember ever seeing any signs of life in these two places, but if we look at this one here, we can see that the vegetation has really taken over the inside of the house, which, you know, usually the vegetation takes over the outside, but kind of unique in an interesting way to have all the growth inside. So I'm just going to take a couple photos here, and this will be my last stop for this trip. Maybe if I crank up the ISO, I can get a little grainier vibe here. Well, I think on that note, that's going to be my last shot for this episode of Field Trips. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.